Hey team, good morning. Max and Ruby decided they wanted to help me with today's devotion. We'll see how well this goes. It probably won't. But today we're going to be talking about when Jesus washed the disciples' feet. And so they've gathered up in the upper room for the Passover, and it's right here when Jesus does something a little bit different. It says in John 13, verse 2, the evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power and that he'd come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with a towel that was wrapped around him. Now, this would have been really, really shocking because really this was supposed to be done at the beginning of the meal, right? As people were coming in, it was a tradition, and the lowest ranked servant was the one who did the foot washing. Because if you think about it, everywhere these guys went, they walked in public streets full of dirt and dust and all sorts of animal muck. So it was a really smelly, stinky job that nobody really enjoyed doing. And so Jesus does this. And I imagine the disciples would have been like, whoa, why is he doing it? Like, it would have made them really uncomfortable and really, really awkward. Because it would have been something that would have been considered dishonoring for the rabbi to come and do this. And the disciples saw Jesus as God's son. He was God's son. They knew it, and they didn't understand why he would lower himself and do this for them. But as we're going to see, Jesus had a reason for doing it. And of course, Peter's the one who actually says something. He came to Simon Peter, and Peter says, Lord, are you going to wash my feet? And Jesus replied, you do not realize what I'm doing now, but later you will understand. And Peter, of course, goes, no, you shall never wash my feet. And Jesus answered, unless I wash you, you will have no part with me. Then, Lord, Simon Peter replied, not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well. Peter's like, I'm all in. Go for it. And Jesus answered, those who have a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean. And you are clean, but not every one of you. For he knew who was going to betray him. And that's why he said not everyone was clean. Jesus then wants to explain exactly what he's done, because this is like a little mini parable. And he said, when he'd finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I've done for you? He asked them. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. I've set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. And so what Jesus is saying here is that he's commissioning these men to go out and serve in the same manner that he served, to humble themselves, to not value position or power, but to be able to get into the dirty, grimy, difficult, challenging, stinky, smelly parts of people's lives for the love of him, to serve them to that degree, to look and relish those opportunities. Because when you do that, you're illustrating just how much God and Jesus loves this person. And I think it's a great opportunity as we think about Jesus washing the disciples' feet to think about how he also commissions us to wash feet, to wash the feet of those in our care around us. So what would it look like at Encore to serve that way, to serve in a humble, ready to do anything capacity? Are there things that we're called to do that maybe make us a little bit uncomfortable? Well, we can be praying about that. Are there ways of serving people that maybe we're not seeing that we could do? We can ask God to open our eyes to see that. And I don't think it's any coincidence that Jesus washes feet, because I think of how it says, how beautiful are the feet that bring the good news. When we serve like we do by washing feet, by getting into those messy, hard, complicated, challenging parts of people's lives, or not necessarily as, celebrated. We are being gospel messengers. We're loving people with the love of Christ in a way that is real and tangible and valuable. And we're showing the heart of God to the people that we're serving. And I'm so blessed that I get to do that with you.